everybody. I'm Miss Chelsea. I'm here at the library. Thank you for bearing with me. I was just making sure I could see myself on my little monitor setup that I have here. So welcome back to Storytime today. Today I actually have 3 books for us. I hope you're excited to read with us today. And I just want to say hello to our friends who might be joining us from outside New Brunswick. Thanks for tuning in. And if you do live in New Brunswick, I hope you're staying well in this time. At the library, we are still enjoying serving you and giving you library things to access while you are staying safe at home, which I hope you are. I know I am, and that's where I'm coming to you from today, from my home. I'm here in my craft room, and I decided to put that to good use today. You will see I've got a little felt board for us to enjoy for today and on Thursday, and this is actually some old felt that I had because I like to make quilts. That's one of the crafts that I like to do. And actually it's not even felt at all, it's something called batting. That is the squishy stuff which goes inside the quilt to make it nice and snuggly when you make it so that you can be warm after it's all finished. And I had an extra piece and I thought I could make us a felt board to go with our story time today. We'll return to that in a second. But first, I think we should do our hello song like we've been doing every other story time. So once again, I'm going to sing it. You could sing it with me. And we're going to do our special signs, which as you remember are hello and friends, right? So again, hello and friends. You could practice that. I'm ready to sing, okay? Hello, friends. Hello, friends. Hello, friends. It's time to say hello. Hi, everybody. Our story time is ready to proceed. Now, this is a very special palm tree here in my tropical paradise at home, right? You may recognize this from a special book that we're going to read today. It's another book that a lot of people love, and I thought we could enjoy it together. And maybe you will even guess it before I show you what it is. Can you guess what it is? Do you remember what special book has this palm tree in it with the coconuts? It's this one. Chicka, chicka, boom, boom. I love this book. And I have our special coconut tree here that we're going to watch the ABCs climb up. This is an ABC book. It was written by Bill Martin Jr. He wrote all the words in this book, and John Archibald, and it was illustrated by Lois Ehlert. So some beautiful pictures in here for us today. Now, this is a library book, which means a lot of people have taken it home. On the first page, you will see there's a little rip. I'm going to ask you to look past that. I just wanted to read this book so bad. So hopefully we can still read it, even though it's a very well-loved book, right? Well-loved in our hearts and well-loved with our hands, okay? Let's get started. Chicka, chicka, boom, boom. Look at that. We got our identical coconut tree today. How exciting. Are you ready to say your ABCs with me? I hope you are, because in this book it's very important. A told B and B told C, meet at the top of the coconut tree. A, B, C at the top. We said D to E, F, G. I'll beat you to the top of the coconut tree. So we have A, B, C, and D, E, F, and G. What comes after G in the alphabet? Do you remember? He's hiding down here. Chicka, chicka, boom, boom. Will there be enough room? Here comes H up the coconut tree. Yes, everybody, H. And I, and J, and tag along. What's this letter? K. All on their way up the coconut tree. They're all climbing that tree. So many letters are going to be in the top of that tree. I wonder how many letters will be in the top. And if you want, you can comment on the video with which letters you think are coming next. Okay? Now, can you say this with me? Chicka, chicka, boom, boom. Let me hear you say it. Chicka, chicka, boom, boom. Will there be enough room? Look who's coming. L-M-N-O. And what's this one? P. Yes. And Q-R-S. And T-U-V. They're all going up there. What happened to our coconut? Uh-oh. All the letters are climbing up the tree. Is there enough room? This coconut just had to fall out of the tree to make room. I don't know if there's going to be enough room. Still more. What's this one? W. And say it with me. X, Y, and the last letter of the alphabet. Let me hear you say it. Z. The whole alphabet up the... Oh no! Our coconuts are falling. What is happening? What's going to happen? All of those letters went up there. Chicka, chicka, boom, boom. What happened to those letters? They all fell out of the tree. Now look, we've got our F, but he fell out upside down. We got our P, they're sideways. Our L and our S, all topsy-turvy. Our K is upside down. And look at our tree. It used to be straight up and down like this tree, but now it fell over. There was too much weight at the top, right? Skit, scat, scoodle, doot, flip, flop, flee. Everybody's running to the coconut tree. Look, we have the big letters coming. Mamas and papas and uncles and aunts hug their little dears. Give yourself a hug, big hug. Hug their little dears, then dust their pants. Did you ever fall down and someone had to come pick you up? And maybe you got a hug and then you had to dust your pants, right? Dust them off. Get back up after we fall down. Help us up, cried ABC. Next from the pile up, skinned knee D. Look, D has a little bandage on their knee. Have you ever skinned your knee? Sometimes when we fall, we might get a little boo-boo, right? That's happened to me before. And stub-toed E. Ooh, he stubbed his toe. That must have hurt. And patched up F. I see F has a Band-Aid on here. And then comes G, all out of breath. Oh no. H is tangled up with I. J and K are about to cry. L is knotted like a tie. See him all tied up here? Everybody else has to get up too. M is looped and is stooped. O is twisty alley-oop. Skit, scat, scoodle, doot, flip, flop, flee. Look who's coming. It's black-eyed P. Q, R, S, and loose tooth T. Did you ever have a loose tooth? Maybe you could move it with your tongue. My loose teeth are long behind me. I don't have loose teeth anymore. Then U, V, W, wiggle, jiggle, free. Can you wiggle, jiggle? Let me see you. Wiggle, jiggle, free. Last to come, X, Y. And what's the last letter of the alphabet? Z. And the sun goes down on the coconut tree. What happens when the sun goes down? It's nighttime. What comes up in the nighttime? But chicka, chicka, boom, boom. Look! There's a full moon. Look at that beautiful full moon. Look at this little rascal here. A is out of bed, and this is what he said. Dare, double dare, you can't catch me. I'll beat you to the top of the coconut tree. Chicka, chicka, boom, boom. Should he be climbing that tree? There's our beautiful alphabet at the end. Let's say it together. Can you say it with me? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Now, many of you know the alphabet song. Let's sing it together. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Now we've sung our ABCs. Thank you for reading Chicka Chicka Boom Boom with me. Great reading, everybody. I especially liked having my coconut tree here to help us. I'm going to leave our coconut tree up for the rest of the story time. I have another book for us. This one is about shapes. So we just did our letters, and now we're going to do our shapes with Mouse Shapes. Another great and colorful book that we can read together. And this book is by Ellen Stoll Walsh. She is the author. Okay. Mouse Shapes by Ellen Stoll Walsh. The mice were running from the cat. Hurry, said Violet. Let's hide in here, said Martin. There's Martin the mouse. Where are they hiding? Looks like they're hiding in some shapes. Look, we've been hiding in shapes, said Violet. We can make things with them. So what shapes do we see here? We see, what's this? A circle. How about this four-sided? Looks like a rectangle to me. And this one has three sides. That's called a triangle. A red circle, a blue rectangle, a yellow triangle. And as our friend Martin is saying, we can make things with them. Here's a square. And a triangle on the top makes a perfect house for a little mouse. Do you see how that looks like a house? Maybe it looks like your house. Here's the body of the house, and here's the roof. When you take a walk today, if you're going to be out in our beautiful weather, you can see all the houses in your neighborhood make this shape. A square with a triangle on top. Try to point it out to the people you're walking with and see what shapes you can see. So we have our house here. What does this look like? Looks like a tree to me. Now, it's not like our coconut tree, but I can see the body of the tree and the tree trunk. Martin says, a triangle and a rectangle make a tree, said Martin. And this circle is the, what does that look like? We just saw one very similar in Chicka Chicka Boom Boom. Looks like the sun. Can also look like the moon we saw, right? But these triangles are different, said Fred. Triangles are tricky, said Violet. But any shape with 3 sides is a triangle. Did you know that? So this is a triangle. So is this. They look different, but do they have 3 sides? Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Yes. How about this one? 1, 2, 3. Yes. 3 sides. And all of these have 3 sides as well. They're all triangles. I'm going to show you how you can make a quick triangle. Put my book down for a sec. Take your hand. Put one hand like this. Another hand like this. Touch your thumbs together. And touch your pointer fingers together. Look at that. I can see you through my triangle. That's the triangle. Do you see the 3 sides? You can trace it on the screen. Now you see my 3 sides. I hope you're doing your triangle at home. We can make a triangle with our hands. And I bet you can see more around your house too. Fred put 2, what are these? Circles. He put 2 circles on a rectangle. Here's the rectangle. It's a wagon, he said, for the little mouse in the house. What's a wagon? A wagon is something, it's like a bed with wheels that we can carry things in. Or excuse me, not a bed. It is like a wheels that has something called a bed in it, which is the floor of the box. And we can carry things in it and move it from place to place. 2 diamonds make a book for a little mouse to read. Look at that. Do you see the diamonds of my book like this? Looks just like our book. It looks like someone reading a book, right? You can also make a diamond with your hands. Like this and like this. Touch them together. See our diamond. Good job. Now, shapes can be made to make all sorts of things. Here's an awesome one. What is this? Here's 1 oval, 2 circles, and 8 triangles. 8 triangles, said Martin. It's a, what is it? It's a fish. Let's count those triangles. Make sure there's 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 triangles. And remember, a triangle is a shape with 3 sides. So this oval cannot be a triangle. It doesn't have 3 sides. Neither can these circles. These are triangles because they have 3 sides. Watch out. The cat likes fish, said Violet. Uh-oh. Hey! Let's make the cat out of shape, said Fred. Violet put on the eyes and the nose. We got our 2 circles on a bigger circle. And our nose, which is a, what is that? It's a triangle. Fred stuck on the ears 2 more triangles. And Martin added the teeth. More triangles. How many triangles? 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks just like the real cat, said Fred. Only better. What do you think's gonna happen? Uh-oh. Just then, the real cat pounced. Look at that kitty cat. What do you think the mice did? They ran away. And didn't come back until the cat was gone. That cat's too sneaky, said Violet. If only we were bigger. I have an idea, said Fred. Can you guess what his idea is? What do you think they're going to do with those shapes? I bet you know. I bet you know already. The clever mice got to work. Soon they made 3 big, scary mice. All out of those shapes. Look at that. They tore up some squares to make legs. Their bodies are a circle. Their heads are triangles. Their ears are more circles, as are their eyes. And they're making those mice to scare away the cat. The cat was surprised. Look at those big scary mice. The cat's no match for them now. The cat ran away fast. What a scaredy cat, said Violet. Now, what can we make for the little mouse in the house? It's time for lunch, said Fred. Let's make him some Swiss cheese. So they did. See that cheese? That's a shape too. What's the biggest shape? It has 3 sides. Do you remember what it's called? 1, 2, 3. A triangle. And to represent the holes in Swiss cheese, what did they put on it? Circles. Lots of circles. Great reading, everybody. I love books about shapes. I love them because then I love to look around my house and see all the different types of shapes that I have in my house. For example, let's look at my coconut tree here. I see some shapes on here already. What are these? Circles. How about the long trunk? That's a rectangle. I'm going to challenge you today to look around your house and see how many circles, how many squares, and how many triangles you see. I bet you will be surprised as to how many circles, squares, and triangles you can find in your house as a shape. And let's add rectangles to that as well. In fact, if you are watching this on a phone or a tablet, you have a rectangle right there. Can you believe that? If you have a TV, that's a rectangle. If you have a clock on the wall, that's a circle. So you can look all around your house. Inside, you have already so many shapes. And if you've been going on a walk every day with mama or papa or aunt or uncle, grandma, grandpa, when you go outside, you can see lots of shapes there too. The windows of houses, they're all squares. The stop sign, that's an octagon. That's a shape we didn't learn today, but it is still a shape. So you take a walk, and I hope you can find some shapes today or in your house. Just going to take a sip of water here. This is my special mug today. This is where I went to college. That's why I have my special mug today, because I like to have those special memories of when I went to college. Villanova. And they have the letter V as their symbol. Remember, we learned V in Chicka Chicka Boom Boom, right? So that's my special mug today. I have one last book for you. Oops. My little sign fell down. It's another favorite book of mine, and it's very colorful. It's a nice story. It's for our older kids who might be listening. So I want to introduce you to it. It's called The Rainbow Fish. And it's an older book, but I think that just means that lots of people have heard it, and so lots of people love it. It's by Marcus Pfister. And I love this book for many reasons, but in part because of these beautiful, shiny illustrations that we have. Okay. The Rainbow Fish. A long way out in the deep blue sea there lived a fish. Not just an ordinary fish, but the most beautiful fish in the entire ocean. His scales were every shade of blue and green and purple, with sparkling silver scales among them. So you see we've got blue and green and purple, our sparkly silver scales, and our beautiful ocean, which also has blue and green and purple. And here's another color. What color is that? Yellow, right? The other fish were amazed at his beauty. They called him Rainbow Fish. Come on, Rainbow Fish, they would call. Come and play with us. But the Rainbow Fish would just glide past, proud and silent, letting his scales shimmer. How do they look? Because he's not paying attention to them. He didn't even say hi. Do they look happy? I don't think so. They look a little sad to me. One day, a little blue fish followed after him. Rainbow Fish, he called, wait for me. Please give me one of your shiny scales. They are so wonderful, and you have so many. You want me to give you one of my special scales? Who do you think you are? Cried the Rainbow Fish. Get away from me. Shocked, the little blue fish swam away. He was so upset. Why do you think he was upset? Because the Rainbow Fish was mean to him. He was so upset, he told all his friends what happened. From then on, no one would have anything to do with the Rainbow Fish. They turned away when he swam by. So, the Rainbow Fish was mean, and then his old friends were mean in return. They ignored him. Is that a good solution to a problem, to be mean to somebody if they're mean to you? I don't think so, but we'll see what the book says. What good were the dazzling, shimmering scales with no one to admire them? Now he was the loneliest fish in the entire ocean. One day he poured out his troubles to the starfish. What color is our starfish friend? He's red. I really am beautiful. Why doesn't anybody like me? I can't answer that for you, said the starfish. But if you go beyond the coral reef to a deep cave, you will find the wise octopus. Maybe she can help you. The Rainbow Fish found the cave. It was very dark inside and he couldn't see anything. Then suddenly 2 eyes caught him in their glare, and the octopus emerged from the darkness. What color is our octopus? A very deep blue, right? So we have our beautiful rainbow fish with his rainbow scales and colors, and then we have our pink and red coral reef and some green snails and crabs, and our blue octopus with her 2 piercing eyes. What do you think is going to happen? Does the octopus look friendly or scary? I don't know. You can decide. You can decide how you feel when you see the octopus. I've been waiting for you, said the octopus with a deep voice. The waves have told me your story. This is my advice. Give a glittering scale to each of the other fish. You will no longer be the most beautiful fish in the sea, but you will discover how to be happy. I can't, the rainbow fish started to say, but the octopus had already disappeared into a dark cloud of ink. Did you know that? Did you know that octopus in the sea produce ink and they can spray it out to create a cloud to get away from a predator or from anyone, really? By the way, does anyone know how many legs an octopus has? How many tentacles? Do you know? 8. 8 legs. How many legs do you have? I think probably 2. But the octopus has 8. Give away my scales? Thought the rainbow fish. My beautiful shining scales? Never! How could I ever be happy without my scales? Doesn't make sense to our rainbow fish friend. Suddenly, he felt the light touch of a fin. The little blue fish was back. Rainbow fish, please don't be angry. I just want one little scale. The rainbow fish wavered. Only one very, very small, shimmery scale, he thought. Well, maybe I wouldn't miss just one. Have you ever felt like the rainbow fish? Maybe mom or dad asks you to share your toys with someone, like your Legos, and your Legos are your prized possession. You cannot imagine anyone else touching your Legos. That might be how the rainbow fish is feeling. Let's see what happens when he shares his scales, which are just as important to him as his Legos. Carefully, the rainbow fish pulled out the smallest scale and gave it to the little fish. Thank you very much. The little blue fish bubbled playfully as he tucked the shining scale in among his blue ones. See his happy bubbles here? He's got happy bubbles. The rainbow fish has some bubbles too. I wonder what that means. A rather peculiar feeling came over the rainbow fish. Uh-oh. Goodbye, tree. For a long time, he watched the little blue fish swim back and forth with his new glittering scale in the water. What do you think he was feeling? The little blue fish whizzed through the ocean with his scale flashing, so it didn't take long before the rainbow fish was surrounded by other fish. Everyone wanted a glittering scale. Now this was the rainbow fish's worst nightmare, to give away his prized possessions, his scales, just like giving away our Legos or our toys, right? But the rainbow fish shared his scales left and right. And the more he gave away, the more delighted he became. What does delighted mean? Delighted means so happy. You feel so happy on the inside. You feel delight. When the water around him filled with glittering scales, he at last felt at home among the other fish. He didn't feel so different anymore. Other of his friends shared something with him. They shared his scales, and it made him feel at home. Finally, the rainbow fish had only one shining scale left. His most prized possessions had been given away, yet he was very happy. Come on, rainbow fish, they called. Come and play with us. Here I come, said the rainbow fish, and happy as a splash, he went off to join his friends. The end. How does our rainbow fish friend look there? He looks happy to me. I see his happy bubbles. Thank you for reading that with me. I like that story because it reminds me that when we give to others, it not only helps them, but it can bring delight or happiness to us. And right now that's so important. And there are many things we can give, right? We don't just have to give possessions. We can give a smile. We can give a phone call. We can give a nice text message or an email. To the people in our home with us who are staying at home with us, we can give a hug, right? And that is what helps us feel delight and happiness on the inside. I want to thank you guys for reading with me today. Take a sip. I had fun reading our 3 books. We will have another story time on Thursday, And we will do some bilingual stories that day, and we will even have a little music. So I hope that you will join us. I also want to remind everybody that we released 2 videos this morning on how to fill out your census information. Everybody should have gotten a letter from the Census Bureau to their home on how to fill out the census for your household online. So if you need some help understanding that form, you can watch our 2 videos. They are in English and Spanish by our librarian, Marco. It's very important that everyone fills out the census because it determines what kind of funding our community gets. Everything in our community, but also the library. If we have a lot of kids in our community, for example, we will get money that's meant to help kids get things that they need, like story times. So please fill out your census, and you can visit our page to learn how to do that. But for now, I'm going to say goodbye, and I'll see you again on Thursday. I think we should sing our goodbye song. So are you ready? We're going to use our signs, goodbye, and friends, okay? Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. It's time to say goodbye. One more time. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. It's time to say goodbye. Goodbye, everybody. We'll see you back on Thursday.